I am altering the deal. Pray I don't alter it any further.
GrokTALK.
3, 2, 1.
We'd like to welcome you to another edition of GrokTALK, brought to you by New Hampshire's leading conservative blog site, GrokTALK.com. We are your feared, extremist, right-wing, hard-charging, gun-toting, opinionated, outspoken, rabble-rousing, letter-writing, radio, microphone stomping conservatives and rational libertarians. So get ready for more news and opinion you could only get from GrokTALK.com.
GrokTALk.
For some reason, they like it when I talk through the talk thing. Welcome to GrokTALK.com. It is still December 13, 2014, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You are in segment 3. Thanks again to the Coalition of New Hampshire Taxpayers. And you're waving your finger at me.
13, 14.
12, 13, 14?
I can count.
12, 13, 14. Today is 12, 13, 14.
Indeed.
Okay, you're pretty good. So
I did not realize that.
I did not
so
either
at
until you said it.
3:16, it'll be 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. You can add seconds.
There you go.
Okay. Hey. Thanks to the Coalition of New Hampshire Taxpayers, GrokTALK.com, Mr. Murphy over there. And, of course, we are on iHeartRadio, Stitcher, TuneIn, iTunes, Spreaker, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Search Granite Grok or GrokTALK
Why are you thanking me?
because this is your stuff.
You the boss.
You started this craziness way back when.
I did.
You opened a box of cereal, and this is the prize.
I like it.
Thank you for coming to my party.
Yeah, so welcome to Republicans Anonymous.
Hey, maybe we should turn it into a real party.
We are the tip of the spear.
We're the tip of the tip of the
The tip of the spear. The vanguard.
I like the pirate ship and the skull and crossbones.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not so much. We don't want to steal
We'll
anything.
vote on it in email, and we'll
My
change
father
it to
had
something
a
else.
deep sea charter boat. I always like the sea.
Yeah, well, I'd much rather be a destroyer than a pirate.
Yeah, there you go. Broadsides, man.
But we're swashbucklers.
Are we? I don't look good in those boots.
Okay. You guys,
An Aegis-guided missile destroyer.
Don't ask me how I know that.
It's
the squirrel.
It's the
It's the
lace
squirrel.
cuff that's got me all bothered
oh
down.
my goodness. All right, the squirrel. The squirrel is now ruling here, guys. Again,
Of course it is.
I want three times in this broadcast, Skip. You have said that 1/3 of the party is not unified, and I want to know. I keep hearing 1/3, not just from you. Where's the 1/3? Because you know what? I think it's closer to 2/3.
It could be, and the reason why we don't see it is a lot of these folks are quiet.
Right.
We are the loudmouths here. There's
Right.
no doubt about it, and that's one reason why the party establishment hates us, because I have come to terms, to a large degree, of how many people do listen to us on both sides of the aisle, because I hear what I say or what we write, and I hear it coming back to us.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that they're out there, they're engaged, they want to do something. The problem is the classical dispersal of the opposition. And I think that's something that has to change to be able to bring them back. But then again, we're back to the old New Hampshire conservative, I want to do it my way.
Mm-hmm.
And even though social media gives us a good way to be able to refocus and get stuff done and to communicate, and that's really the primary thing that I see that's lacking. Somebody who's willing to stand up and then provides a good communications platform for a back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
And right now we're seeing and feeling a lot of people who are saying, I don't want to do this anymore. And it's hard to engage.
Well,
So the question is, not only can we engage, can we open up the lines of communication, but can we stage some action that will be noticed? Now, you were reading from the New Hampshire Journal. Is there any one person that opposes Jennifer Horn for NHGOP, the race, that was mentioned in that article or anywhere else? These are the folks that feel helpless because nobody in media is standing up for them except us.
Well, let's face it, nobody's standing up to run against her either.
That's true.
Who wants the job?
Well, I think a lot of people out there are saying, I can probably do a better job, but it is a problem in that I have to work.
Most people have to work.
Well, and that is the problem that we face. We are only a small state. We're 1.3 million people, And there's always, a stratification economically of the people who can actually do things for no pay and to spend the time to run around and all of that. And, I hear the idea of the professional politician that could, if you gain such a status, then you can run around and do that kind of stuff. But I also like the citizen politician as well. I love that model. Mm-hmm. The problem is that there are some people with the money who refuse to follow that original model where the farmer would lay down their tools, go do the work for a while, and then go back. And I think that's what we're missing. And that's what's distorted the politics here in New Hampshire, especially on the right side, for quite some time. It's always the same cast of characters. Now, it does take a special breed of person to say, I'm going to become active in politics because everything's going on. Because most people see government way, way, way down. They don't see what government is about to do and is in the process of inverting that relationship. And they won't until it's too late.
That's the thing. And some, I think, believe it is too late. Therein lies the debate. There is. And so a lot of us are going to be part-time. And, most people have families. They have their careers and all of that. It isn't, you look around at the GOP party, and you see pretty much older folks that can find...
No.
Oh, come on. Look at the white hair here, guys. I couldn't do anything until my hair turned white and the kids left the nest.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way it goes.
Mike?
I want to interject here.
Please.
I had suggested a while ago, if they really want people to represent New Hampshire, why don't they have a part-time legislature? Like, okay, go nights and weekends. That way, regular people like me, you guys, could actually... I would do it, but I can't take 3 days, 6 months out of the year off of my job. I can't do it. But I could do it part-time at night on weekends. I'm already doing everything political, more hours than I probably work a week.
We're just doing some technical stuff. Mike, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, you said about it all inverting. First of all, the founders said who designed this place for part-time, the whole government system for part-time legislators, I don't know that the full-time legislator is the problem. The problem is that we've allowed it to grow and metastasize and have power that makes them want to be there full-time managing our lives. We have to take away the power and the money, and then I think the other thing follows. But this vision came to me. Remember that congressman who was ridiculed for saying the island of Guam has got so many people it's going to flip over?
What a moron.
Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hank Johnson.
But basically, if if we keep piling more and more people into government, eventually it's going to flip over and squash the people.
Well, I think, Mike, you've actually hit the biggest thing that is necessary to tame. People who want power are attracted now to politics instead of other things now because of the return on investment for that lust and greed for power. Government has become so big, so costly, and so intrusive that once you get in, the return on investment to do what you would want, which is, who's the guy I want to... Mr. Dingell, Congressman Dingell, who came out and said it takes so long to write up the legislation to control the people. I mean, that's what they see. And government is so large, they can now do that. And we keep saying this, if you reduce government, reduce its influence, then those greedy people will not go there because there's no return on their investment of time, effort, and money. The problem is, they're in the place now, and we saw this in D.C. this week with the Cromnibus. Did the Republicans go after Obamacare? No, they fully funded it. Did they go after his executive amnesty order?
Nope.
No. It's go along to get along, and that's when they get mad at us for saying you're no different than the Democrats. Well, when you promote and support the opposition's agenda, why shouldn't we?
You mean like New Hampshire does?
Yeah, but it's far worse than that.
That's right.
Not only have they funded the government infinitely, not only have they failed to do the one thing they are charged to do, and they have been Republicans in the House all year and the previous year, which is to put in single-purpose per department spending bills and dare Obama to shut down one department at a time. They won't do that. But worse, in all of these bills, which are humongous, they're favor factories, the worst part of the sausage machine, there are pieces that take away our liberty, such as the stuff in, I think it's the NDAA, that basically authorizes the government to collect and save and sift everything you do or say.
Yep.
I wanted to point out that Scott Morales has joined us.
Hey guys,
Hi.
Wave your hand.
Yay.
how you doing?
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, Scott.
Hi.
Kimberly Morin is on the phone.
Yeah, I was a little late. I was here at 10, a little before 10, but I parked way down in Bow. So I parked actually next to the Feminist Healthcare Center, which I thought was interesting. I don't know if you guys are aware that there's a Feminist Healthcare Center. I mean,
Isn't that abortion in the clinic?
It could be an abortion clinic, or go there to.
Because that's what feminist healthcare is, as far as I know.
Yeah,
I mean, based on the media that I'm aware of. So, welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
So what have you been lilistening a little bit? Have you gotten enough of it just to add in here?
Yeah, I would like to chime in.
Bring that microphone closer.
Closer. Okay, better.
Yeah.
I thought I was over-modulating. Okay.
No, just keep it above your upper lip. That's good.
All right, how's that?
No, like that.
Yeah,
Like that.
Come here, son. Let me fix your mic
this
for
is
you.
GrokTAK. Okay, you put your mic wherever you want. Don't listen to him. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, what I thought was striking, we were just talking about the Cromnibus being passed. What I found that was striking and also galling was that there's parallels with what Boehner did to get it across. He ignored the conservatives in his party, and he went and called to Democrats to get his stuff across. It's to the point now where Gohmert was just on was being interviewed just yesterday, and they're saying that they're like, well, the Democrats are probably going to elect him as speaker because a lot of the conservatives won't. And I mean, is that right? Is that right? So it's pretty pathetic. And for them to have the cojones to come out and say, oh, we're not like the Democrats when they actually pass their agenda and seek more Democrats to pass their agenda, I think is troubling, to say the least.
No. She needs to put that on so that when Kimberly and Mike talk,
She can hear.
she can hear.
Okay. You're absolutely right. Absolutely. Hang on. I got all these little dials and knobs. Mike!
Yeah.
You still there? Okay. I just want to make sure. Kimberly, you're still there?
I'm still here. You got to cast 1,000, so I'll show up.
I do. We have a lot of people in the studio.
I'm still here, too.
Okay, good. All right. So, next.
Well, here's one thing that was tagging on what Mike said about stuff being stuffed in. There, and I've got a post, I'm going to put it up, where there's a Republican operative in D.C. who basically called this wild, wild west spending by outside groups must stop. It's out of control. It has to be, and he was in praise of the piece of in that legislature that said rich people can now donate triple the amount that they could to each of the parties. Now that's basically saying here's something by law that's going to let the parties control that money instead of to the outside groups, where the outside money had to go. But it was the galling part was that, we can't trust you guys to spend the political money correctly. We in D.C., us professionals.
Fiscal empowerment of the aristocracy.
There you go. The clerisy.
And that is why you get these groups like Mayday who really want the government to fund the campaigns, so that if you don't look like the right kind of person to them, you'll never get funded.
That's right.
That's right. And now let's be clear. Money is free speech. You can't get your message out unless you've got the money. And all of this crap by the Democrats and Larry Lessig, who funded what's his name's campaign for Senate, Rubens, Jim Rubens. It is a case of leading the hare into the trap, because once government controls it, that giving out of the money is automatically politicized. No matter what you say, all of these nonpartisan boards over time become partisan. And we've seen that over and over and over again. There is nothing that is nonpartisan in government. It doesn't stay that way, period. And I want to be able to say, if I ever hit the Powerball, that I would want to give my money to whoever I want and not stop because some political creeps in D.C. or in Concord say, we're not going to allow you to spend your money the way that you want. Now, I can hardly give a dime because of all this stuff. I can hardly give it.
Sorry. Wrong button.
I've just been hit by the lightning bolt.
Quick comment.
Okay.
You know, yeah. So if you let government control the funding, the government will control who can run. Do you know how the British keep the undesirable candidates out?
No funding.
No. They make them put down a deposit of good faith that they are a serious candidate. You have to put down the equivalent of about $10,000 as a deposit.
Whoa.
If you get a reasonable number of votes, you get your money back. If you're just an idiot campaigning on vanity, you lose your deposit. And so what you see when the votes are tabulated at the bottom of the list, you'll see the ones that lost their deposits, i.e. they had no idea if anybody was going to vote for them. They just thought they'd put their name on the ballot. And so that's how they prevent the ballot being full of people that are clueless.
Susan?
But there's no government prevention of outside candidates. If you can rustle up a few bucks and you're willing to lose it, have a go.
Well, I've heard from candidates on both sides, Republican and Democrat here in New Hampshire, that if you don't have enough money to show them, you're not going to get any funding from the party. So they effectively are able to keep one out. A couple of years ago, a lovely guy was running as a Democrat. Told me that he was told if he wasn't able to come up with $100,000, that the party wouldn't back him. Now, I heard on the Republican side that you had to come up with $30,000 before they would talk to you about any sort of funding. So they were kept out here as well. If you unless you're doing money laundering through Democrat unions, it's very difficult to do that.
All right, we're going to take a 60-second break, and we'll be right back with Republicans Anonymous.
This is the Coalition of New Hampshire Taxpayers. We're located at 8 North Main in Concord, New Hampshire. This is the repository for all things conservative and municipal. So if you have a problem in your town, your school, your budget committee, the right to know law, and now at the top of our list is voter fraud. You have a tip for us, some information for us, you want to join or help us out, cnht.org.
Hi, this is Rich Gerard, host of Gerard at Large in the Morning, the Manchester area's only locally owned, locally operated, focused, and interested, riveting radio show, heard live every Monday through Friday from 6 to 9 on 90.7 FM WLMW, New Hampshire Family Radio, and available 24/7 live or archived at gerardatlarge.com. Be sure to tune in.
All right, this is GrokTALK. We're bartering over the name Republicans Anonymous. We want to know if we want to change that. That's Skip's big stick, by the way. So watch out. Are you gonna knight me? No, you gonna behead me? I didn't know you were Muslim. Welcome back.
No, samurai.
Samurai. Okay.
Kind of a round blade,
by
though.
The Coalition of New Hampshire Taxpayers.
We're back to the ADD blogger again.
The Coalition of New Hampshire Taxpayers isn't giving us any money. They're just letting us use the space. If somebody else came in and offered them a bunch of money for the space, we'd be gone. We'd be in some other room somewhere.
We'd be back to my house.
Right. So no, we wouldn't, because I'm not driving all the way up there every week to do the show. This is not going to happen. So we wouldn't have a show. But thank you very much.
Yes, we would.
No.
Yes, we would. We'd have to do more tech.
Yeah, we would
Skype.
have to do a lot more tech. Anyway.
I could finally get that whole panel of monitors that I've always told Debbie that I wanted.
Yes, and that she's not going to let you buy. So there.
Someday.
Where's the laugh?
Who's laughing?
Where's the laugh?
That's Kimberly.
That's
Sorry,
Kimberly.
that was me.
Why are you laughing at me, Kimberly?
Because I agree with Steve. Debbie's not going to let you buy them.
I got all this stuff, didn't I?
It took a while, though.
Drip, drip,
One
drip.
piece at a
By
time.
the time you get your panel of monitors, the first one will be so old that, you'll have to buy another one.
Jane, help me out here.
She doesn't have a microphone.
Oh,
She can't
Scott,
help you.
me out here. I'm being picked on.
I tend to agree with everybody, the consensus in the room, that you're not going to get the panel.
That's why she is the most esteemed wife.
All right.
Here, Jane, take my microphone.
Check that one off the list.
So what do we do, folks? How do we, I mean, let's screw D.C. Forget D.C. There's nothing we can do about that. How do we save New Hampshire?
We have to save New Hampshire, because only with the right legislature, a governor of some sort that isn't a Democrat or doesn't act like one, I don't know how we're going to find one of those, and some very active people who are willing to double down, who are willing to do James O'Keefe style guerrilla journalism, people who are willing to sneak into these places and get themselves inside, people who don't know us, or people who aren't known like us, who can get inside. We need people who are already inside to give us the information so that we can start breaking stories. And because I write NH Journal, they get a lot of traffic, but they don't, like you just said, they're not telling you the other side. They're not telling you the conservative side. Yeah, they'll push the Republicans, but as a rule, they push the establishment message, and they'd be happy to throw, rocks and glass in front of Democrats and maybe even us, but they're certainly not going to do it in front of their own people.
Now, there was a story, I think either Newsbusters or CNS, I think it was Newsbusters, that, oh gosh, here we go with the names. I can't remember names. She's on Fox News all the time as a commentary. She's got a PhD.
Monica Crawley?
That's it. And she was saying she would...
Give him a munchkin.
No, I'm good.
She was saying that she had a conversation with somebody who worked at a rival station, and one of the questions that they ask when they plan their evening shows is, what are we going to do? And she said, well, since Obama has been elected, is how do we protect Obama? I mean, it is clear that the left is basically dominates the newsrooms. That all of their donations and their efforts and their words are slanted to the left. They won't acknowledge it. They still think themselves, they are so left or left-wing that they think themselves as in the middle, whereas we say we are to the right, and we are proud to admit it. But to actually say that we're going to protect Obama shows the bias. Now, we see the media here, and I don't think of a single outlet with perhaps Bill Binney's new station and NH1 slightly more to the right than the others, and maybe because he's going to follow the Fox News of going after that underserved marketplace here in New Hampshire, the half that are conservatives. But all of the media, I believe, have that leftward bounce. Even the union leader has gone from right to less right to center and kind of going more over. How often do you get requests about what you've written or what we've said or and how is it presented?
You got that cricket thing?
Oh, yeah, let me go get the cricket thing. Hang on a second. Ready?
Guys, if you recall, it was the union leader that sat on the Foley story and then endorsed the jerk.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, it is. They do sit on stories.
Can you say that, Kimberly, good question and good example, but was that a case of just a single guy, Dan Toohey, that sat on that for 2 weeks and then
kept his job?
Well, yep, that's right.
If you're a journalist, you guys know, if somebody gives you something, can you look into this? I get that all the time. Can you look into this? Or will you look into this? And if it's something like this, you freaking look into it. Mm-hmm. You don't sit on it. I don't think Dan had anything to do with it. I think it was higher ups that said, no. We want this guy. We're not doing it. And I gave them a turkey award on my show.
Yes, you did. The golden turkey.
I don't have a turkey.
So do you agree with that, Kimberly, that even here in New Hampshire, that the media is at best in the center and mostly left?
Oh, God, yeah. Look at WMUR. Come on.
Yeah.
Candy Pindell.
Well, Candy Pindell.
Candy Pindell.
It's a long-standing rumor that people like John DeStazo and the folks at the Telegraph, they spend a lot of time talking to Ray Buckley, and that they find out things from him, and that they don't. I mean, if you look at the way the press operates, when stories come out, if it's a Democrat-driven story, it comes out right away. If it's a Republican-driven story, you might see the press release, but you won't see media coverage on it. So it's pretty clear that, most of these people, if they're professionals, they went to J school. They came out of the same J schools as all the other bastards that we have to put up with in the media. So that's why we, including, Kimberly's doing a great job expanding her reach. We need to expand our reach. We need people to come to us with stories. We don't have a problem with you using us instead of them, because let's face it, they're not interested in your message. They don't care about your message. If the media calls you for a quote, they're not calling you because they want to support your cause or they want to make you look good. They're calling you because then they're going to call Ray Buckley and find out what the Democrats think. If you call us and we believe in the same principles, we're going to back your story. We're going to push your story out, and we're going to...
Terry Bean. Anything in the New Hampshire media?
Not that I've seen. Not yet.
And after you put up those videos about Boozy Bootin', how many calls did you get from the media for additional information?
They didn't call any of us, did they?
They didn't call any
Zero.
of us. Zero.
Donut.
Absolutely
They
zero.
didn't want to know.
Yeah.
It was a hole.
It was a hole. It was Munchkins.
Yeah.
We represent the media. Never mind.
Oh boy.
You guys, after I published the story about Foley, and then of course he came out and ended up, someone on Facebook started a group to have him, force him to drop out. But all the news finally reported on it. They never attributed it back to, oh, guess what? This is where the story originally came from.
Of course not.
Because they don't want people to go to you for news.
Well, I would.
I would too. I highly recommend
do.
it. We do go to you for news, and we do. We want people. The places that we go for news include people like Kimberly, and that's every morning. If you don't know this, Susan Olson is a massive news feed on Facebook.
Oh my God! Yes.
Every morning I have like 30 emails from links to stuff, and it's like Drudge, but it's the New Hampshire version.
I've been called a drudge.
You've been called a drudge, and
well, here's the other thing, Kimberly. Who were the folks that reached out to you after you broke the story about Jeannie Forrester helping and abetting the Sean Jasper going around? Was it the left-wing news? Was it the left-wing party that came to excoriate you? Who was that?
No, it was people in the GOP who were freaking out about it. They weren't excoriating me; they were freaking out about it.
Yeah, and then they came after me.
Well, that's just...
No, they know better by now. Because number one, I call people out. I don't care who they are, what party they're in, obviously. I call out both sides, so they know better than to try to, push me over the party, whatever, because I don't care.
Yeah, I was harangued for an hour and a half over the fact that why does Granite Grok always go after Republicans? And my simple answer was, we hold the Republicans to a higher standard than we do the Democrats. Well, that's not fair.
The Democrats don't have standards.
Yeah, that's right.
Well,
their standard is self-preservation. That's it.
Yeah. The thing was, well, that's not right. We could win much more if you guys would let up. And here we go.
We're gonna run out of
Winning
time.
is only a precursor.
All right, we're going to come right back. We'll probably keep talking about that. This is GrokTALK. There we go. Too many buttons. Hang on. We'll be right back.
New Hampshire is famous for scenic drives, but they're tough to enjoy when you're on your way to the doctor. Because Obamacare limits your choices, some will have to drive more than an hour to see a doctor. What's health insurance worth if care isn't there when you need it? Jean Shaheen voted for Obamacare, putting your doctors and hospitals further out of reach. Tell Senator Shaheen, Obamacare is not working for New Hampshire.
Jean Shaheen and her allies are making false claims about her record on veterans. The truth? Shaheen refused to meet with veterans pushing for reform. She wasn't on the committee that wrote the reform legislation and refused to co-sponsor important VA reforms in the VA Management Accountability Act until after the VA scandal broke. When our veterans needed her, Jean Shaheen was AWOL. Tell Jean Shaheen to stop distorting the truth and fix the VA.
Hi, this is Rich Gerard, host of Gerard at Large in the Morning, the Manchester area's only locally owned, locally operated, focused, and interested riveting radio show, heard live every Monday through Friday from 6 to 9 on 90.7 FM WLMW, New Hampshire Family Radio, and available 24/7 live or archived at GerardAtLarge.com. Be sure to tune in.
This is the Coalition of New Hampshire Taxpayers. We're located at 8 North Main in Concord, New Hampshire. This is the repository for all things conservative and municipal. So if you have a problem in your town, your school, your budget committee, the right to know law, and now at the top of our list is voter fraud. You have a tip for us, some information for us, you want to join or help us out, cnht.org.
GrokTALK.